Hi everybody and welcome. It's Aonghus McAnally here, the voice of OTT Wrestling, and I've been asked to answer a couple of questions for you to brighten the mood in these darker days, although it's a bit sunny out there, as we're getting our way through this crisis. So for a bit of entertainment, a bit of diversion, here we go, a little bit of an insight into Aonghus and his time with OTT and the world of Irish wrestling. So question number one, how long have I been commentating for? My first show was the Invasion Super Show from the Tivoli Theatre back in August of 2016. It was myself and the great Don Marnell's first night in those commentary chairs, and we never looked back after that. It's been a really interesting journey through that time with OTT, and it was a great time to start. It was really at a time when OTT was finding its groove. We were getting that balance right between importing the very best talent from around the globe and also our own homegrown talent. The likes of the Devlins, the Session Mods were really finding their way, finding a way to make their mark. It was a very special time, and I've never looked back since. Question number two, who is your favorite commentator of all time? Interestingly, it's Bobby Heenan, hands down, no question, although that's not a style that I kind of mimic or employ because I'm a fairly straight up play-by-play guy. Heenan for me is the best that ever held the mic. In fact, the best maybe to ever do anything in the business. You think about just how skilled he was as a manager, and also he could work. I mean, he started off as a worker. So the idea that you will be that good on the mic, that good at ringside, that good in the ring, he's just untouchable for my money. I mean, in terms of how I kind of style myself, it's much closer to a Gorilla Monsoon, maybe even bits of Jim Ross in there too. I try and get a bit of as much kind of shoot fight experience in there. I've got a background in boxing as well, so I try and get as much of that kind of shoot fighting stuff in as well. But in terms of the best ever hold a mic, Bobby Heenan, hands down. How did I meet Tony Kelly? This is an interesting one because both Tony and I are actors knocking around the acting scene here. But interestingly, we had never crossed paths before we met at OTT. I'd worked on shows with friends of his, he'd worked on shows with friends of mine, but we'd never actually worked together. And so everything you see in the relationship between me and TK has all been forged in an OTT ring or on the OTT mics. It's a unique OTT relationship. Do I enjoy doing commentary for OTT? What do you think? I get to sit in the best seats in the house for some of the finest wrestling that's happening anywhere in the world. I adore it. You know, I'm a storyteller at heart. That's why I'm in the theatre business. It's why I do what I do in terms of the acting stuff, and it's why I love the commentary, just helping those guys in the ring to tell those stories. And I get to witness some of the very best wrestling in the world up close and personal. It's a dream come true. What is my opinion on the True Pros? I think they're one of the best tag teams going. I think that combination of the two skill sets, the tactical expertise of Michael May, and just paired up against the sheer size of big Liam Royal, I don't know that there's many tag teams out there that have the key to unlock that puzzle. They're a very, very special team. Who's the better commentator, you or Tony Kelly? Come on now. Do I need to answer that? If you know, you know. What match in OTT that I didn't like but was forced to call? Well, I don't know that the office would ever force me to call anything, but in terms of matches that I was uncomfortable calling, some of the more hardcore stuff that the Session Mod has done over the years would not make me all that happy in my life. I'm a big fan of the Session Mod. I have an awful lot of time for her both as a wrestler and as a human, and I don't like seeing her getting banged up like that. So when she's getting slammed face first into steel cages or taking bumps through thumbtacks, I'd rather she was having an easier night at the office. They're the ones that kind of send me a little bit off kilter. Who is my favourite wrestler in OTT? Well, everybody knows I'm a massive fan of Scotty Davis. That kind of goes without saying. Huge fan of Amy Alonzi too. I think she is one of the brightest up-and-coming stars that we have on the roster. But the great thing is about the Irish scene at the moment is that it's absolutely stacked. We have a huge amount of talent, diverse talent, and there's a conveyor belt of talent coming through. So for all the LJ Clearys and B Cools and Scotty Davises that we have now, there's that conveyor belt of the Callum Blacks coming through biting at their ankles, you know, and it's a really great position to be in because it means that we should be very solid in terms of homegrown talent for quite a few years to come. Did I ever want to be a wrestler? The answer to that is no, although I was the first trainee through the doors of the first school in Bray that Fergal Devitt and Paul Tracy opened back in 2002. I did about 3 months training with the guys there. I was just finishing up in drama school, training to be an actor, and having done an awful lot of physical theatre stuff and movement work and dance work, I thought that, you know, this work in the ring would give me a better understanding about how I would tell physical stories on stage. So I did a good few months there. And also when I started back with OTT around 2015, I would have done about a year's training then as well. So I've trained quite a bit, but never with any intention of being a worker. And so to the final question, did I ever take a back bump? Well, following on from that last question, yeah, I have taken hundreds, if not thousands of back bumps over the year. And let me assure you, every one hurts as much as the last. This ain't ballet, folks. Everything that happens in that ring is very, very real. I've got the bumps and the stiff neck to prove it to this day. It's it's fun. I mean, I love being in ring. I don't do very much of it at all anymore, but I love it. But I love it to the extent that it gives me a very real understanding and appreciation about what those guys and girls do. This stuff is, it's legit, my friends, and you know all about it after one session in a ring. So that's it. They're the questions I had to answer for you. I hope that has brightened up your day somewhat, or given you a little bit of insight into me and my experiences in the world of Irish wrestling. And so for now, please stay safe, stay home, wash your hands, mind yourselves and mind each other. And I really look forward to welcoming you back to an OTT show sometime very soon.